All right, so a lot of you have already submitted your picture of your sketches, or you joined Zoom today and you were showing me your sketches. That's awesome. Okay, oops, mine's upside down. Now, if you did not get a chance to completely finish your sketch and your plan and know what yours is going to look like, or if you didn't get a chance to color it in, while I'm talking today, you are welcome to do some sketching, some planning, and some coloring on your map. Okay, but I am going to talk about our next steps. So in the art world, just like if you're doing writing, you would make a first draft, okay, and you type things up or you draw things out, and then you kind of make a second draft or a final draft, which is going to be your final project. So that's why we did our sketch and our plan first, so you know exactly what to do. Now, on your final project, you have three options. You could redo your map just a little bit nicer, a little bit neater, make it look really awesome on another just white piece of paper. So I would take this one and I would set it next to it, and I would kind of just not trace it, but I would just kind of copy it again and make it look even nicer, maybe add a couple more things, really color it in, make it look nice. That's one option, is using a white piece of paper again for your final draft, okay? Another option is, if you have brown paper at home, you may also use brown paper, like construction paper, for your map. So this one might be a little bit dark, and mine are a little bit bigger. This one might be a little bit dark, maybe hard to see some of the things that you draw, but I have that color with me. I have this color, which is a little bit lighter. And then I also kind of have this color, which maybe I would choose to do just because it's a little bit lighter and you'll be able to see all of your details, all of your coloring, and all of your words. So if you have brown construction paper at home, you could also use that, okay? The last option that you could do is, if you have a grocery bag. Now mine is kind of flattened because it was in the back room in the art class, but that's okay. If you have a brown paper bag and the grown-ups at home are willing to let you borrow this or use it, you can cut off one of the sides. So one of the big square sides, you could cut it off, and you could use the inside where it's blank to draw your treasure map. Okay, and I'm going to cut the paper bag so I can show you what it looks like. So with my scissors, and I'm just cutting on the little creases that the paper bag has. All right, and then I'm cutting off the bottom where the crease is. Mine is very bent. And then I'm cutting the top of where my crease is. And you know, it doesn't have to be a perfect cut because treasure maps aren't perfectly shaped anyways. Sorry, this is kind of loud. I have, and again, mine is a little bit, it was in the back room in the art class, and it was kind of.
Have you ever met a pirate?
Now it kind of looks like this. So then you could draw your map on this side. If you would like your map to kind of have those bumpy edges or little cuts cut out of them, you are going to want to do that first, and I'll tell you why. If I take my map and I draw it all nice and I'm really proud of my final project, but then I was like, oh wait, I really wanted to make my outsides bumpy. Well, then I might accidentally cut off, like I have Mystery Island right at the very top of my picture, and I might accidentally cut that off. So before you start drawing, before you start your final copy, if you are wanting to do the bumpy edges that we saw in some of those examples, I want you to do that first. So later when you're done, you're not accidentally cutting off any of your hard work. So on this one, I could just take my scissors and I can just cut kind of like wavy lines around the edge. And then I have this little scrap piece of paper, and then you can see the top of my bag is now a little bit rounded. If you are doing this, if you're doing your final map on a white piece of paper, you can still totally do this. So you can take your scissors and you can cut out little edges. So it kind of looks like this. Or what Maya was asking, if you could cut out like little triangles. So she is kind of talking about if you were to make like a little rip, cut out like a little triangle as if your map had been ripped, okay? Or you could try to rip it as well. The only thing you need to worry about with ripping is ripping too much. So when you do rip, if that's what you're choosing to do, you need to keep your hands super close together and do like little pinch rips all the way down. but that is an option too. So you can go like this, all the way down like that. And now you can see I kind of have this edge that doesn't look like a perfect piece of paper. Okay, so those are all options for you. You can cut the edge, you can cut into it, you can cut pieces out, and you can rip it. The only thing that I ask is that you don't do this and make it, I'm gonna do mine really fast here, and make it super, super tiny, okay? Because then if this is your map and it's like about the size of my hand, it's going to be really hard for you to go in here and draw your island and draw all those little details that you already practiced on your other map. Okay, so I don't want you to cut it out super, super tiny. I want you to make sure that it's big enough where you can fit everything that you practiced on there. Because right now, I'm not feeling like on this tiny map, I could fit all of these details. Okay. All right.
Mine's tiny because this is the only brown paper I could find.
Oh, and that is totally fine. It doesn't have to be like, I know mine are a little bit bigger because I have big construction paper in the classroom, but you could still, like, if your piece of paper is like half this size, you can still cut the edges and do all that. I just don't want it to be a really small piece, but you can still cut all the edges even if you have a small piece of paper. And he asked, do you have to cut the outside? No, you absolutely do not. If you want to just keep your piece of paper or your paper bag or whatever you're using for your map, if you want to keep it just straight lined, you can do that too. You don't have to cut the edge like this, but if you want to, you can, and I would do that first. If you're not doing that, then you can just start on your final copy. I set down my sketch next to my final piece of paper so that I'm always looking at my sketch as I'm drawing so that I know exactly what I'm going to do and I'm not taking any guesses. So that way there's less mistakes that I might make. Good question. You can leave things out from your sketch and your plan on your final piece of paper. You can leave things out if you can't fit them or if you don't like them anymore. If you want to change it in a little way, you can totally do that. It doesn't have to be like an exact copy, but I just want you to be looking at it so you know kind of what your ideas were in the beginning. Okay, so right now I am going to go right into your class for Schoology, and I'm going to scroll down, and there is a white folder, and it is called Especiales or Specials, and I click on that, and then I click on this first red folder that says Art, and then in here you will see day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and second grade, I make the colors of the day go in rainbow order. Okay, so red, orange, yellow, and green is for today. So going into yesterday's folder, we are going to go into day 3, which is yellow. It says October 7th. And if you click on Zoom meeting video, it says that we didn't take a video yesterday because it was kind of just a work day. However, today, I'll show you in just a moment, you will have a video in there after class. And then here's this little picture here. It has 3 little photos and it says Miss Hout turn in folder. And it says upload your treasure map sketches / plans here. And if you click on that, you can see that some friends have already done it. Okay, there is going to be a little button on the side that says add media. And when you click on add media, it will come up and you'll be able to attach files. And mine's going to look a little bit different because I'm on a laptop. But when you open it on your iPad, it should say photo library. And if you click on photo library, you'll be able to click on your actual photo and then upload it into there. You just say, okay, upload, and then it will come in. So thank you to those of you who uploaded yours this morning. That's awesome. I'm seeing some extra ones today. Going into our folder from today, it says day 4, October 8th. There is not going to be a turn in folder today, friends, because you do not need to turn anything in today. Okay, we're just getting started. We're on our final project, so you don't need to turn anything in. This says Zoom meeting video, and it just kind of explains. It says, today we started talking about our final draft of our treasure maps. There is nothing to turn in today, but make sure you have uploaded your treasure map sketch / plan into yesterday's folder, which is day 3, October 7th. And then it says, if the video does not work below, click here. So right now there is not a video here because I am currently recording our Zoom call. So after the Zoom call is done, it has to upload, and then I will put it into this folder if you need to go back and watch it for any reason.